There's a job you've been working since you were 7 years old. No pay, no breaks. Nobody hired you for it, and until right now, you didn't know the position existed. But it's the actual reason you can walk in the door tonight, close it, and feel completely empty, even though nothing bad happened to you today. And there are 3 words that finally clock you out. But first, you need to see the job. The last room you walked into. A meeting, a dinner, a friend's apartment. Before you even opened that door, some part of you had already decided how to walk in. The tone, the energy, whether you'd be the funny one or the quiet one tonight. You did that in under a second, and you didn't notice you did it. You did it again with your boss, again with a friend at lunch, again with your mother on the phone. Different room, different version of you, same person underneath. Here's the actual job title. You aren't just talking in those rooms, you were monitoring your own face, tracking how the other person reacted, checking whether this version of you matched the version from yesterday. You were running quality control on your own identity, live, with no second takes. The job title is Continuity Editor of the Self. It's unpaid, it runs every single day, and it's why nothing happened today can still leave you flattened by 9 p.m. So why do you have this job? It starts in a classroom, around age 7. You said something, a joke, an opinion, something too loud or too eager, and someone reacted. A look, a laugh that wasn't warm. Something in your brain deleted the sentence right then and filed it under "don't do that again." That was the first edit. It made sense. You were 7, and you needed the room to keep looking at you like you belonged. But we actually know how much this costs. So here's the question. Who do you think was happier and more at peace? The people who seamlessly became whoever the room needed, or the people who stayed exactly the same in every room? Take a second. In 1974, a psychologist named Snyder built a scale to measure exactly this. He found some people walk into a room and become whoever that room needs, almost automatically. He called it self-monitoring. The people who scored highest weren't faking. They had more friends. They were rated more socially skilled. But when he asked them a simple question afterward, "Who are you when nobody's watching?" most of them couldn't answer it cleanly. That's the real cost. Not a mystical energy bar draining. The willpower battery idea popular psychology ran with for years has actually had trouble holding up under closer testing. What is well supported is simpler. Every adjustment, every real-time edit, every "which version of me does this room need" question is real cognitive load on the part of your brain that handles planning and control. You make hundreds of those decisions a day. It adds up whether you notice it or not. And here's the trap. If someone tells you the solution is just to be yourself, you're in trouble because now you're performing authenticity. Now you're monitoring whether your realness looks convincing. The freedom just becomes another shift, another app loading. So just be yourself is useless advice. And here's the part almost nobody tells you. The job doesn't end when the room empties. It's 11 p.m., you're alone, and you're still replaying the day. That thing you said at lunch, the look your friend gave you, whether you talked too much in that meeting. You're performing for an audience of exactly one person, and that person is harsher than any room you were actually in today. In 2000, a Cornell psychologist named Thomas Gilovich ran the experiments that explain why. He called it the spotlight effect. People wildly overestimate how much anyone else actually notices their mistakes. The audience you're editing yourself for at 11 p.m. is almost always empty. It was empty the whole time. So why keep the show running for no one? Because it was never really about the audience. A psychologist at Northwestern named Dan McAdams spent decades studying this and found something stranger. You're not just living your life, you're writing it. A running internal story about who you are, and every day your brain edits the manuscript to keep the character consistent. When a moment doesn't fit the story, you cut it. You've been editing that manuscript since you were 7, with the same eraser. Here's the actual clock-out moment, and it's smaller than you'd think. Next time you catch yourself doing this, adjusting, calibrating, checking the room, you don't have to stop it. You just have to notice it. Say 3 words to yourself. There's the edit. The moment you can name it, it stops being invisible. And the moment it stops being invisible, it stops being the only thing you are. You are not the performance. You're the one who notices it. And that noticing is the first moment all day you've actually been off the clock. Tonight, when you catch yourself replaying something you said, don't fight it. Just say the 3 words, "There's the edit," and let the day stay a first draft. Say them once, then come back and tell me, did the review stop or did it just get quieter?